Heyo, I'm Colby from Sanitarium Productions. We're back again with another exciting action figure review. So traditionally we do a lot of G.I. Joe stuff here, but today we're going a little further off the deep end than we have with any of our other stuff in the past. I've got this really cool looking Kid Connection Dinosaur playset. I picked this up at Wal-Mart for like $5. It looks pretty cool. It comes with a cool looking dinosaur and a little jeepy thing down here and an action figure and a whole bunch of accessories in here. It looks to be about in the same scale as the traditional G.I. Joe stuff we do, which is kind of what intrigued me about it. So, yes. You'll notice it's got this big Try Me sticker on it here. If you You can pull down the arm on the Raptor there and he yells and his mouth lights up. So that's kind of cool. Flipping it over to the back, it's very generic packaging. Not a whole lot at all going on this thing. But it's got a nice window box on it. Again, it's kind of the budget version of Jurassic Park, I suppose. But still kind of cool. So I thought it'd be interesting to open it up here and see what it looked like up close. So we're going to do just that. Let's go ahead and unbox this thing. Got a piece of tape over here on the side. And everything just kind of slides right out. Not a whole lot of packaging in this thing. We have a little stickery thing, piece of cardboard cutout that shows you, I guess this is the instruction sheet, which is kind of cool, but there we go. Flipping it over to the back, we've got a couple of these zip ties. I'll go ahead and just cut them off real quick. The dinosaur falls off pretty easily, so cool. I'm not going to hit the button on it again, but interesting anyways. The Jeep comes out pretty easily. Not a whole lot going on with it, but still kind of cool. Then we've got this plastic stuff that's taped down, holding the rest of the figure and all the accessories in place. So let's cut that tape off. And a piece up top. And then we can recycle that. It's kind of a generic background thing, but I don't know, you may be able to do something with it. The figure and all the accessory stuff is taped in here as well. Let's see if we can pull this tape off and start pulling this stuff out. So we have this really cool net thingy for the Jeep lasso doohickey to capture your dinosaur with. You've got a pretty cool looking claw here that does open and close, so that's cool. We got the action figure itself. Kind of interesting, a little safari looking guy. Got more articulation on it than I had expected actually, but we'll take a look at that once we zoom in. But you get an action figure with it. And we got all the other accessories on this tray, which is kind of cool. The actual tray itself looks pretty interesting. It's got a little like handle on it, so it's got some nice detail work on the actual plastic tray. Then a lot of the little pieces that just kind of break off of the hub. So yeah, that's kind of cool. So here is everything that you get in the set. So it's a pretty good amount of stuff here for the $5 that this thing cost. Kind of a cool concept. It may be really good for customizers, but I don't know. We'll go ahead and zoom in on these things individually now and take a look at them and see what we think about them. First, we'll take a look at the actual Raptor here, the Dinosaur. It's actually a pretty cool looking dinosaur. It has a lot of detail work in it. It is made of a hard plastic, but they got some nice texture work on this thing, and the paint looks really good considering it was a $5 piece. Articulation wise, the leg moves a little bit here, and then on the other side it moves a little bit also. Not a whole lot going on there. The arm moves up and down, and then this arm moves down and activates. Oh, that's funny. It activates the actual action feature here of the dinosaur roar, which is actually pretty cool. It's a little annoying, but kind of interesting. Let's see if we can do this again with it looking straight on. The mouth lights up when you do that. It can get very annoying very quickly, but it's still kind of a cool feature. Not a whole lot of articulation, but it's a pretty nicely done dinosaur. So if your kid or whoever is really into dinosaurs, this is a pretty cool set to pick up. Scale wise, I happen to have our handy dandy 25th anniversary Beachhead figure here. So you can see the thing is a little bit taller than Beachhead. If we line up the bottom of the feet, and as far as length wise, it's about not quite 2 lengths. So it still fits in pretty well with the scale of the G.I. Joe series. So it's a big bonus there if you are into G.I. Joe like I am. And yeah, that's a cool little dinosaur thing here. Next up, we have the actual action figure. Since this thing did not come with any details on the character or anything like that, he doesn't really have a name. So we're going to have to name him ourselves. And I think I'm going to name him Jim. So this is action figure Jim. It's got some fairly decent detail work. It's kind of a blocky figure. The head is fairly small. Not a lot of detail work going on, but some nice detail work on the pants. It's got a molded knife, some nice knee pads, some good detail work on his boots here. So overall it looks pretty good. Articulation wise, his head moves to the side a little bit. Not a whole lot, but a little bit. The underside of his hat is not painted, and he doesn't really seem to have his hair painted. So it's kind of a cheap version, but fine. Shoulder swivel only. It doesn't not got a rotator or a socket or anything like that. Just a simple rotation up and down. There is a hinge joint here at the elbow, and that's pretty much it for the arms. No waist articulation whatsoever. The hip joint is the single up and down. Won't go back, but will move up. And then a hinge joint at the knee, and that's pretty much all the articulation you've got. So very limited, but considering what it is, it's not that big of a deal. Again, it may be really good for customizers, or if you've got little kids, it's a perfect little figure for them. You don't have to worry too much about them breaking or anything. No pegs in the feet, so no way to put them in an action stand or anything like that. But still a pretty nice looking figure. Size comparison wise, again, using Beachhead from the 25th anniversary G.I. Joe line, you can see it's a little bit smaller, but meant to basically be in the same scale as the G.I. Joe line, so it'll fit. He's just a little shorter than most everybody else, so really long arms. Beyond that, it's pretty much just what it is here, so not that big a deal. But we are also interested in all these accessories that come with him. So let's take a look at them and see. Again, they are kind of attached to this peg thing, so we have to kind of pop them off the peg. So we'll go ahead and do that while we're here. They don't pop off really well, which is, I guess, a good thing to a certain extent. First one we have here, I just kind of have to twist it off until it pops out. We've got a really cool looking flashlight. See if I can turn this around so you can see it a little bit better. Some really nice detail work on this thing. Pretty cool. But you do get a flashlight, so there's one thing. Let's go ahead and just try to pop these off as quick as possible, and then we'll look at what's included. This may take a little longer than I had hoped. I've never really liked these tree systems. That's a shovel. Got a pickaxe. That's just a piece of trash. We've got a knife here. And again, with these trees themselves, sometimes you get these issues where not everything snaps off cleanly. So you may want to go back in and clean that up with an X-Acto knife and break some of this off. It's not supposed to break off on the accessory, so there's a little knife right there. Got a pair of binoculars here. A sword. Some kind of battery or lantern. A kind of cool looking canteen. And the last thing on here, if it'll come off, there we go, is what looks to be a generic version of the Alley Viper's backpack with a grappling hook gun. So that's kind of cool. Everything else just is loose here, so you can, I don't know why you'd want to keep this thing now, but you can if you want. So yeah, here's all the cool looking stuff here that comes with it. So quite a few accessories. Again, you'll probably want to go back and clean this stuff up a little bit to make it so it don't look quite so conspicuous. But I'm not going to bother with it right now. Still, you get some nice accessories in here. They are a little chunky. The backpack itself looks to be kind of like the size of the peg is very reminiscent of the old G.I. Joe style, the vintage line. You can see it fits on his back very well. It's not really that snug, so it's probably going to fall off pretty easily like that. But it's kind of cool that they did include something like that. The grappling hook gun is non-removable. The rest of the stuff fits in his hand pretty easily, actually. Doesn't look like there's any problems with him holding on to any of this stuff. Again, they're made kind of big, and the guy's hands are made pretty big too, so you don't really have to worry about breaking anything. So that's a nice little plus there. His shovel, he can go shovel stuff with, and that's kind of cool. One of the other things that I was curious about was how well some of these accessories will work with, of course, the G.I. Joe line. So again, going back to our trusty beachhead figure, this lantern thing fits really well, so it would make a nice little custom accessory for the G.I. Joe line. Some of the rest of this stuff may be a little too large to fit. Like this pickaxe kind of works. It's still a little oversized for the smaller hands, but it does definitely work, so you can use them for custom stuff in the G.I. Joe line, so that's nice. The binoculars don't really have a good handhold on them, but you can attach them like so. And your Joes can use that accessory if you want to, though they look a little large. The sword is way too oversized, so it does not fit well at all, but if you're not worried about bending the hands, you can use it. Luckily, their hands do kind of close back up. The canteen is a little odd shaped, and again, doesn't have really anything to hold on to, so you may be able to get it to work, you may not, but it is kind of cool that it does work for the most part. So kudos to what is this company name? Kid Connections, for at least getting pretty close to the ballpark for the price range. So you get a few extra little bits and pieces that you can use for your G.I. Joe collection if you so desire. Or you can use it as is. Again, it is meant for a younger audience, so it's fine. And here we have the Jeep that comes in this set. Detail-wise, it's got some pretty interesting detail on it. It very much looks like an early prototype of like the Vamp Jeep. Or maybe just a less detailed version of the Vamp Jeep. Pretty basic. The wheels do spin, so that's good. It looks like they may have reused some of the molds here for a couple of different things. I see a thing here on the bottom for obviously a speaker or something to be attached to, so it may be that they had an electronic version of this at some point. Still, it's a pretty nice looking. It's kind of small. The figure itself that comes with it kind of fits in through the top here, and is supposed to fit in the driver's seat, and actually does. There we go. Takes a little persuading to get it in there, but fits in there pretty nicely. It looks like there's actually room in there for two figures, although there's only one seat there. You can come out pretty easily there. So as far as the detail work goes, I don't know how well we can see in here, but there's actually quite a bit of detail work inside here, which is actually very surprising to me. It looks like a little computer attachment thing here, or I don't know what that's supposed to be, but it's got a lot of detail on it anyways. It's got a nice little steering wheel here that does move, which is cool. And a little sticker panel here over on the side, so kind of cool looking. Very basic stickers on the side. Again, if you get a hold of maybe some nice vamp stickers from cobrastickers.com or some kind of repro stickers, you could probably make this thing look really nicely. Attachment wise or accessory wise, we have this little peg at the top, which is meant for this crazy hook contraption here. Essentially, you pop this down on top of that ball joint, and now you have your lasso system that swivels around, and the lasso itself kind of moves up and down, so you can go chasing after your dinosaur, and once you find him, loop it around his neck and hold him in place, or drag him off, or whatever you want to do with it. It's kind of cool, actually. Maybe use it as a bit, and he can pull him from the rear or something if you need a little extra towing capacity or something. I don't know, it's still kind of cool. The little lasso mechanism thing here actually has quite a bit of detail work on it as well. Again, it does rotate up and down and kind of pivots all around, so it is nice that they put enough thought into it to make that work really well. Actually pretty surprised at how effective that is. Look at from the side here, up and down, and side to side. So that's really cool, actually. Pretty nice little detail here. And I did forget about this cool looking claw thing. There doesn't seem to be an attachment point on the Jeep anywhere for it, but it's got some nice detail work on it as well, and it does open and close, and it's meant to kind of clamp down on top of your dinosaur so he can't get away, though it puts you awful close, so I don't know if you actually want to use that to catch a dinosaur with. Maybe do it like that and you can hold the dinosaur if you're really strong. Kind of cool. For a kid's imagination stuff, this is great to work with. Back to the Jeep though. Getting sidetracked here. If we take comparison here, we've got, again, Beachhead from the G.I. Joe 25th anniversary line here. So the Jeep itself is a little bit narrower than a full figure. And let's see here. 1, 2, just a little over 2 long. As far as whether or not the figures can actually fit in this thing, the answer should be definitely yes. So, if you can get the legs to go in right, it actually works pretty well. Again, you should be able to get 2 figures in here without any problem. So yeah, it definitely works with the 25th anniversary line. Shouldn't have any problems with it whatsoever, so you know, you can put your favorite dinosaur hunting G.I. Joe into the driver's seat and let him drive around and capture dinosaurs. Or if you need to in a pinch, you can have him capture Cobra. So all in all, actually pretty cool looking little set here. And again, it does work really well with the G.I. Joe line, so that's definitely a positive spin here. So that's everything that comes with this set, and all in all, it's really cool, especially given the price point. Again, I think I gave about $5 for this thing at Walmart. You can't really complain about it since the fact that it does just cost $5. It comes with a really cool looking Jeep. Some nice detail work. Needs a little bit of extra stickers to help it. But a really cool pivoting lasso thing. Cool looking dinosaur. A throwaway figure, but still pretty cool. And a lot of little accessories that you can, again, if you're like me, you can add them to your G.I. Joe collection and you know, spice things up a little bit. So yeah, if you like dinosaurs and are looking for something a little bit off the beaten path for your Joe dioramas or just in general to play with, yeah, this is a cool set, man. I recommend picking this thing up if you can find it. So, yeah, go get it.